Rare just dropped their latest community direct, and despite the horrible news of layoffs, the updates are very promising. We have massive insider changes, news on custom servers, a change on seasons, and information on what content we can expect for seasons 17 and 18. First up, let's talk about the Insider Program. Christina McGrath announced a 3-step plan that promises to shake things up for the Insider Program. Removing the NDA is step 1. Rare didn't like throttling the conversation around what's being tested, so soon insiders will have clear watermarks to show when they're playing insider content, making feedback more open and dynamic, which should mean that we can talk about features before they come to retail. It's also implying that we can actually stream or possibly make on-demand content about it, but that wasn't discussed entirely. But it does mean we can discuss it outside of the forums. Step 2 will feature more feedback surveys, something I think we've been lacking on for ages. Step 3 will be a redesign of the Insider Program from the ground up. I think all of this is well overdue, especially the NDA thing, since anyone and everyone could sign up to it, and everyone just has to pretend not to know what's actually going on. Overall, it's a pretty strong start. Now, let's talk about seasons. Mike shared that Rare wants broader player sentiment in future seasons. What does this mean for us? Well, instead of focusing on niche themes like Hourglass or guilds, they're aiming for bigger, story-driven experiences. This is great news for us story fans since it's been completely stagnant for around 2 years, with the story feeling like an afterthought. Seasons are also changing up as part of this, with the content being spread out over 3 months with a different focus. Season 17 sounds interesting to say the least. Here's an example of what we can expect. In month 1, we'll see a reinvigorated sandbox. Month 2 brings expanded live events, creating special moments in time. And month 3 is skeleton forts with new Reaper mechanics such as traps, enhanced loot pools, black powder barrels, and even a chance for a surprise Dark Brethren attack. Not really sure what they mean by this. This all sounds interesting on paper. I'm apprehensive about this approach since it seems like seasonal content will be a mix of permanent features, time-limited events, and slight tweaks to existing content. First up, I really don't like the idea of live events being included as content. It seems like the same mistakes from the past are about to be made, with FOMO being the main driver. While these events will be rotated, how regular that will be is anyone's guess. Also, I'm not a huge fan of changing the skeleton forts with just old content we already have. Without knowing why this will be a driving force, I can't stomach slapping about the same skeletons, but every so often I'll stand on a bear trap. I'll save my judgment for when it comes out, but it seems like seasons should be scrapped if we're having 3 updates in 3 months, which don't share a theme. Just rip off the bandage, Rare. We all hate seasons, get rid of them. And speaking of future seasons, Season 18 is going to be something we've requested for 7 years. The focus shifts to the Devil's Roar getting a revamp, and the new Dark Ancients, an apparent faction that was banished ages ago. I think we've sort of seen them in Season 16 and before. It's cool the story threads seem to be being picked up, however, they need some big reveals and not more of dragging out the same things. Right now, it sounds like the world will be changing, but we won't know why, which is the main problem for the last few seasons. In some more encouraging news, Emissary Play is also being updated in Season 18. Custom servers are finally being planned for retail release in early 2026. While we still have a little while to wait, what's another 6 to 9 months when we've already waited for, 6 years so far? These will be a part of a new premium subscription, which we sort of knew was going to be the case anyway, and it's going to be bundled with other features such as having safer seas with multiple crews. Think Alliance servers, farm the gold all you want, you just can't progress very far. It's pretty clear the team are keen to shake things up. I'm happy they're taking a look at old content. We've been begging for this for years and the game is well and truly stuffed at this point. As for live events, I already think they're going to be massively unpopular unless the incentives for hopping on are actually good. If it's just gold and the same shitty trinkets we've been getting, then people will not be happy about it. Sorry for my French there, but it's the truth. If we're going to get new features and sandbox updates, they need to be new, not just the same thing we've had with just some values tweaked, such as the black powder barrels. Kegs have been in the game since launch and we've had 3 reskinned kegs with different damage values already. This isn't going to feel different. The Insider Program is clearly going to become a huge part of testing, and for me, it'll be great to discuss this content coming forwards, and maybe get some public feedback before it actually makes it into retail. I always felt like some stuff gets ignored on Insider, and when it launches, the feedback is echoed and it takes a while to fix. They already had the feedback, they just didn't act on it, or couldn't in time. And custom servers for me, it's a massive deal and will allow me to remake my complete story video with proper cinematic shots, and maybe get some high quality lore content out there if the story actually improves. Overall, it's a really positive update in the wake of Microsoft being shitty. It's sad how Everwild was canned despite being nearly finished, and I think we were all a bit concerned Sea of Thieves was being de-scoped further too. But there we go, an interesting new direction for Sea of Thieves that has put some hope back into the game after a generally bland period. I haven't been playing nearly as much, and you can tell from the uploads, but hopefully this should put us back on track. What do you guys think?